Hyderabad HICC లో Hyderabad Software Entrepreneurs Association 28వ యాన్యువల్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ ఘనంగా ప్రారంభమైంది. ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి ఐటీ మంత్రి KTR, ఐటీ సెక్రటరీ జయేష్ రంజన్ హాజరయ్యారు. సమావేశంలో KTR మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. లైవ్ చూద్దాం.
And we will be doing, a lot to ensure that this does not occur. But again, even during this crisis, several IT companies have come forward and donated even for the flood relief in Hyderabad. Recently, Infosys has come forward and has taken up some works in HYSEA near their Muchata campus. Very heartening to see multinational companies taking the responsibility of society around them. My compliments to Infosys on this initiative. The SME part of HYSEA has taken up the initiative to suggest various measures to support the small and medium enterprises. And in this regard, we have communicated to the Union Minister for IT and most of the recommendations that we made relating to addressing credit issues were taken into consideration. And again, this is very thoughtful of HYSEA and your leadership for providing these valuable inputs to the government. From the government standpoint, we have created an SME advisory committee to ensure that a good portion of the government software work goes to these SMEs. The committee is already operational. Several SMEs have been impaneled and they are supporting the government with the software for the ease of doing business application. The software industry of Hyderabad had shown its resilience during the COVID time. There were layoffs as usual, part of the private sector, but there were no major layoffs due to COVID. In fact, all the industry bodies and HYSEA likewise came together with our government to constitute a layoff redressal committee. We counseled many companies and employees and ensured that their concerns were addressed during the COVID times. We are also empathetic to the cause of the IT developers. We are working with them to ensure that our second largest employer, the real estate industry, is thriving and we are addressing their challenges as well. Even though the work from home is in vogue now, we believe that campuses and workplaces are there to stay in the long run. And on the other side, the state's IT exports grew at 18% for the last financial year. This is more than double the national average of 8%. An incredible story for all of us to tell the rest of the world that Hyderabad is the place to come and invest. Yesterday, in fact, I was at a very interesting launch, an office of a real estate company called as Knight Frank, a multinational company, of course, that you would be familiar with. And this is one statistic that I would like you to reflect on and look at for a second. What they had shown me was the growth from 2014 onwards until 2020. If you look at Hyderabad's numbers, they're highlighted in red. Right next to it is Bangalore, NCR, Mumbai, Chennai, Pune, Ahmedabad and other cities. If you look at the growth story of Hyderabad, back in 2013, we were absorbing, this is the office space absorption on an annual basis in the city, in any given city. In that particular year in 2013, if you look at it, Hyderabad had 0.3 million square meters of office space being lapped up. Since then, till 2019, it grew by 400 times, quadrupled, 0.3 million square meters to 1.2 million square meters in 2019. Whereas if you look at Bangalore, which is right next to it, it was 0.9 million square meters in 2013. It grew, did not even double, it is at 1.4 million square meters in 2019. So that goes to show you that this city, in fact, in the last 6 years, has grown by leaps and bounds. In fact, just again, another statistic, we've moved from 6th place in India among Indian cities to 2nd place in 2019, from 2014 to 19. That goes to show you clearly that the IT sector in Hyderabad has been growing and has been adding number of jobs and also has been employing many people indirectly as well. But I'm worried. I'm worried about the congestion in the western part of Hyderabad. So therefore, in fact, we have come out with a grid policy, a growth in dispersion policy, wherein we are ensuring that IT developers in the other parts of town, Uppal, Kompalli, southern part of Hyderabad, I'm saying, in fact, earlier the policy was called LEAP, Look East policy. But then later we decided, it should be called Look Anywhere But West. Because, the western part of Hyderabad is getting congested and the infrastructure will crumble at some point. So therefore, I'm happy to share with you that number of prospective potential developers and investors are coming forward, and we will be opening a new cluster in Kollur in the northwest. This is of course to disperse the IT around the city. There are also a slew of benefits which of course are available on the Telangana government's website, such as the 30% rental rebate for the SMEs, and anyone who brings in more than 500 employees to the grid regions will also get a customized incentive package. So therefore, if those of you, especially multinationals who are looking to expand, who are looking to grow in the city of Hyderabad, I would urge you to kindly consider looking at other regions other than the western part of Hyderabad. And the reason why I say this is because many of your employees, in fact, reside in other parts of Hyderabad. Many of them reside in the eastern part, the southern part, and the northern part. So it makes sense, in fact, to avail incentives and also make it easy, for us to decongest the city of Hyderabad. We're also, in fact, going to be breaking ground for an IT tower in Kompally next week. And we already have more than 200 SMEs interested in taking space here. So that's a very heartening sign from my perspective, because that will help me in decongesting the city as well. And yesterday, in fact, we have approved the integrated township policy, wherein our vision of creating more satellite townships or counter magnets around the city of Hyderabad, that is outside of the outer ring road, 5 kilometers outside of ORR, has also been unveiled. We are offering again significant benefits, fiscal incentives to those developers who will set up these integrated townships with the theme live, work, learn, play, wherein essentially suburbanization and large scale adoption of such efforts would really help again decongesting the core city of Hyderabad. We also in fact have opened IT towers in tier 2 towns such as Karimnagar and Warangal, and it is already running at full capacity. There's already demand for a phase 2 and an expansion there, and we will be definitely doing it. We're also opening an IT tower in Khammam very soon, in Nizamabad and Mehboob Nagar later this year or early next year. Like I also pointed out, Cyient, Tech Mahindra have already expanded into Warangal, and I am looking at a couple more very interesting names moving to Warangal as well and opening their facilities as well. I would request HYSEA in fact to partner with our innovation platform T-Hub, which they have already done. In fact, today also commemorates the 5th anniversary of T-Hub. Exactly 5 years ago, T-Hub was unveiled in Hyderabad. It shaped up well, but a lot more needs to be done. As Satyanarayan Garu pointed out, in terms of ET, as he called it, ecosystem technologies, a lot more needs to be done, a lot more collaborative effort and a lot more synergies also need to be explored. I'm delighted that HYSEA has also entered into an MOU with TASK. Now, one of the things I can certainly say, as we all work from home, as the reliance on networks, as the reliance on bandwidths, as the reliance on ISPs and telcos continues to grow, one of the things we need to be wary of is cybercrime. Now, cybercrime is something that has been growing, and we are all at one stage or another going to run into this issue. So therefore, I had asked Bharani and the entire team when they had visited me, back when we were not wearing masks, I think. We had a chat and we were talking about how HYSEA possibly needs to work with TASK and other entities also to create more cyber warriors. We have a super cop here, our Cyberabad CP, Mr. Sajjanar. I request him and the Cyberabad Security Council also to start working on multiple initiatives which will also ensure deterrence in terms of preventing or in terms of in fact reducing cybercrime in our state, and let us lead again from the front as an example, as a leading state. And I do believe this is possible with industry active participation and active collaboration. I'm delighted, Bharani, that you've taken the initiative forward. Once again, I thank HYSEA for playing a key role in ensuring sustenance of the Hyderabad ecosystem here. Congratulate the management committee and all the award winners and the participants who were brave enough to attend this physical event. My compliments, and once again, thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much for your address, sir. We hope under your patronage and auspices, the IT industry in the state continues to grow in leaps and bounds. I now request Mr. Bharani to felicitate our